No. Alright. I think I may have to increase my microphone gain after all. Just a tad. Yeah, it's pretty low. Testing. Testing. Hello. There we go. Start seeing. Testing, testing. Oh yeah, that's much better. Much better. A little bit too much though. Let's bring it back down to about 60. Try there. Testing, testing. Hello. It's better. Testing, testing, hello. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Email. Alrighty. Let's see. What's all these new buttons? Save replay. Schedule a stream. Stop. Okay. Hey, that's right. They added that new feature, didn't they? Alright, let's bring up a good old channel. See how it looks. New channel. Boop. Not bad. Looking pretty good. Nice and smooth. Good. And I can hear myself. Pretty good. Ah. Okay, there we go. I forgot I can't move the camera in cutscene. I forgot I can't. Cutscene. Alright. Cool, cool, cool. Actually gotta move this so I can see it. There we go. Set that down because I don't need it. Okay. Should be everything. Alright. Everything's looking good. Nice and crisp. Finally got through. So I finally got through all the boring stuff. Because as much as I like Aroma Reborn, I will admit that it is once you already know a lot of the lore, and I've gone through Realm like a bunch of times, and not gonna lie that I skipped through a lot of the filler stuff, like the fetch quest type stuff, just because it's not really like what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that through line, you know. I'm looking for the Ascian stuff. I'm looking for the lead into Heavensward and all the, you know, major plot stuff. You know, that's the stuff that I'm looking for. Because like all the rest of it is just already ingrained in my brain. It's so hard. But I think just A Realm Reborn, I think it's just the most fresh because I do it the most. Because when I make an alt, it normally doesn't make it past A Realm Reborn. Just because I get lazy and stop coming back to it after a certain point. So, but here we are, finally in 2.2. Actually, I just wrapped up 2.1 a minute ago, which is interesting. The first meeting with, God damn it, you can see my mic peeking over there. Oh, all right. I think I'm just gonna leave it at 60. I think that should. Okay. Could. Yeah. So I could like tweak the limiter, but since I've been messing with the gain, like I feel like it's. I mean, it's like I could. Do anything. Testing. Hello. I mean, yeah, it would. So let me bring it back up to 65. I'm trying to get. Okay, yeah. I see it. Hello. Testing. Hello. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's actually doing its job. Gasp. I think right there is perfect. Yeah, it's looking really good. Right there. Awesome. Well, cool. I'm learning things. Yeah. It's like, I thought that the like reading back over the first dialogue meeting Elidibus was really interesting because a lot of the word choices, like, it was vague at the time, but it feels a lot more informative now, having gone through Shadowbringers. And it made me think that, well, I don't think that they had the arc, like the entire like character arc for Elidibus like planned out necessarily. I do believe that his role and each of their roles in the narrative were established, like, now and before now. So like him being the heart of Zodiark and having left his body and walking and kind of like acting independently almost was established, I believe. At least that's what I believe. Before, like, at this point, like long before we got here. So I believe that was like established in the lore book. And I believe like the entire narrative of I mean, I think it's always been safe to say that, you know, the Ascians being the main focus and like how the world came to be was established by the original writers for 1.0 and a lot of the world building and everything. So because that they still using all of that, they're just kind of like tweaked it a little bit to fit a kind of different pacing and a different kind of storytelling structure. So, but it was still really interesting revisiting that first scene with Elidibus. We're back. So we're here starting off 2.2, discovering that serpent reavers? Yeah, serpent reavers. Horizon, which is unusual because they're from Limsa. Oh, the Thancred is like being sassy here because he's like, how can one person, one sea wolf, subdue an entire like contingent of brass blades by himself and get away? It's like, was he a giant in disguise? And like, jeez, Thancred. You a little mad, bro? You a little mad? He was quite strong, though. Services are required elsewhere. Suspicious. Awfully disappointing. I try to look a little disappointed. This is my face. I literally have no other face but this one. Or do you mean to give me another one of your stoic nods? Oh, this was the patch when they started doing the acknowledging of the fourth wall. It's not really breaking the fourth wall, it's just acknowledging his existence. Alfino awaits my coming most eagerly. He does tend to be very eager, yes. Wonder what that could be. So I'm gonna go back to Vester Bay while he's gonna try and find the guy that ran off. Fair. So happy that I can fly. Makes this a lot faster. That walk. That walk is a bit long, not gonna lie. It honestly doesn't really matter whether you walk on ground or fly over, because it's the same speed. Oh. Not in there. Follow now if you know. I'm late. Well, didn't exactly tell me that it was that urgent, and I flew here as fast as I could, so sorry I didn't get that level 2 writing map. Excuse me, I don't have the time for that. The Domans are coming. The Domans are coming. I familiar with Doma and Arthur? No, not particularly. Can't say that I've really been exposed to the idea lately. I've been aware. I just realized I'm reading my say chat. It was like somebody said in say chat like 5 minutes ago, stop flexing, shake my head. I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't think he was talking to me. Whatevs. Just think it's a weird thing to say. And it's like the only reason I think it sticks out to me is because doing New Game Plus, like, it means that you're walking around with the same item level. You know, you're doing everything as the same item level. So I've been unsyncing all the dungeons and trials and stuff that I've been having to do for the MSQ. And that also means, like, all of the mobs out in the world are, like, just one-shotted. You know, I can just poke them and they die. And so I was thinking, so, like, before, up to this point, like, going through Realm Reborn, I was thinking, it was like, I wonder if people think that I cheated, or that I'm cheating in some way, that I, like, broke the game. And like for instance, like any new player that doesn't know that New Game Plus exists, for an example, like, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch for me if it were me going through the game for the first time and not knowing that New Game Plus is a thing and how it works. To think, how are they doing that? Is that legal? Is that a thing? Like, but that's just a random thought that's just a random, like, anxiety that I have. It's just like, please don't call me out, I'm not cheating. I swear. Distressed domins have arrived on our shores. That's what he's saying. Escaped persecution from Garlemald, from Doma. Pretty banged up. And they are important because they could have information about the current state of Garlemald itself. We have no information on, apparently. Well, I guess we just don't have the resources for Garlean spies yet. We're going off to Ul'dah to see what's up. And we'll find the Domans bickering with the Sultan's Horn of the Royal Promenade. How do you know that? Like, how do you know that they're just, like, fighting, that they're already at the Royal Promenade and fighting with Bartholomew? Yes, I am uncertain why I'm required for such things. Insurance, you say? I don't think I can afford that. My job doesn't pay me enough. What would Eorzean healthcare look like? I certainly have never, like, seen anything about people having to pay for procedures. Maybe they have socialized medicine. He's insinuating that they might be Imperial agents, so that's interesting. It's just like, if anything should happen, just want you on hand in case, you know, things go south, because, you know, it is the Garlean Empire. Like, that's fair. To enjoy my sparkling repartee. Really? Do you, Alphino? Do you really Eh. So, off to the Royal Promenade we go. I'm hungry. That's what I get for not really eating anything all day. Just wasn't hungry at all today. Not hungry at all. Like, I wanted a sandwich all day, but I never really felt comfortable ordering one. Because I can just order one from Jersey Mike's and have it delivered, but I never felt comfortable doing that. Just like, well, my husband was awake, so I thought it was like, well, maybe I'll order one when he goes to sleep. And then I looked it up, and they don't deliver past like X time. I couldn't figure out what time that was in order for future reference, and I was just like, okay. But the important thing was that I couldn't order it now, so rip me. I had a piece of chicken. Yeah, I had a piece of fried chicken, so that counts or something. Discord notification. Oh, that's from Saibotsu. Never mind. I shall look at it later. I'm in! Let me in! So mad. And she's just walking away. Alfino stating the obvious. Allow me to introduce myself. Wow, it just always kind of off-puts me how just Alfino's entire, like, demeanor this early in the game. Because he's just so sure of himself. It just comes out so shallow. It's just like, I'm a friend, even though I'd sell you out for my ideals in a second. And I'm like, oh, okay. Or it's not that he would sell her out, but it just kind of gives off this vibe of he's just doing it to have something to brag about, I guess. Or that he's just doing it because he thinks that that's what, you know, heroes do. Something like that. Like, don't get me wrong, he knows his stuff. He knows his way around this politics stuff. But doesn't make him any more endearing, I guess is the word. Yes, ma'am? I am not getting up and letting you out the door any more times. Cat. Okay. You were gonna sit there, and you were going to be a lazy, sleepy baby. Okay? That is your lot in life tonight. Deal with it. I don't know, perhaps I'll get up and get something to munch on because Tommy is definitely feeling a little parched. Famished. Wrong one. Certainly going to be enjoying that UI update for the agents. Oh, Endwalker. Oh, the UI quality of life is probably the highlight of my life. whenever new patch stuff comes out, especially big patch stuff. I just realized as well this
We have traveled some several thousand miles across the sea
voice
from the
lines
nation of Doma, in hopes that we might find sanctuary in these lands.
it's the Olmec thing.
Sanctuary, Lady Yugiri?
Should be picking that up.
I, lying within Othard, Doma was under the dominion of the Garlean Empire, as I'm sure you are aware.
Wondering if it's a little low though. Have it all the way up. Yeah. Have it all the way up and then I have that down. So that's as good as it gets, I guess.
When the War of Succession broke out in Garlemald, we espied an opportunity to free ourselves from the yoke of imperial oppression and took up arms. Only to be crushed. And so I gathered what few Domans escaped the reckoning and guided them hither to your shores.
A war of succession? Then the Emperor... Forgive me. You said that Doma was under Imperial rule, did you not?
No, it still is.
Doma is gone. Razed to the ground as an example to the other provinces.
I mean, technically, yes, I guess.
12 have mercy. And your people?
On a ship anchored in Vesper Bay, flying borrowed colors. Many were complicit in the rebellion, or akin to those who were. They will not come ashore until I send word that it is safe to do so. I sought an audience with your rulers, but was summarily refused.
The lords of Ul'dah are not wont to entertain foreign refugees without suitable encouragement.
Mayhap I was foolish to expect otherwise, but our supplies run low and we have young ones in urgent need of care. I have seen the tents outside the gates, however. We are not the first to seek asylum, nor will we be the last.
Be that as it may, Ul'dah is no friend to Garlemald. Your tale would stir the hearts of many men and women here. The Sultana and the Syndicate will not be so easily swayed, but I shall see that you are granted an opportunity to plead your case.
This is within your power?
Well, far be it from me to boast, but I do have the ear of certain influential individuals.
Far be it from you, Alphanel. Far be it. Even though you literally, it seems that you literally do it, like, at every friggin' turn. That stupid smirk on your face.
I am in your debt.
Lady Yugiri, forgive me for observing, but your choice of attire seems like to evoke feelings of mistrust.
Men are wont to fear the unfamiliar. We know this from experience.
I loved this because people were going crazy with speculation over her design because this is leaking the new playable race, Aura, of course. But people were like going hard on the speculation that it was actually like a Viera a variation, since they which I understand because there was that leaked concept art from, I say leaked, but it was official. Like it was officially like leaked concept art of male Viera ahead of Heaven's Word, but
We seek only to spare the people of Uldar unnecessary disquiet.
I shall defer to your experience then.
So I think my thoughts on her design, on the type of race, was definitely something with like fleshy ears that were pulled back for some reason. Like I was definitely thinking like something almost like a beast-like face. Like there's this race in, or there's this race in Dot Hack to You called the just like I guess they're just called the beast races, where they have just like very almost like mole, almost mole-like faces. Well, I mean, they're very cute. It's got that kawaii kind of like, rounded and big eyes, and it's got this cute little button nose and whatnot and whiskers. So it was like I was thinking of like something like that, And it was just gonna be like this very like mousy type of face, type of humanoid race. No. No. You're a bully. You're a bully. You bullied me. So now you get to sit there.
I thank you for your understanding.
It seems I have urgent business with the Flame General. I leave our guests in your capable hands.
My capable hands. All right, Yuri. Talk to me. Oh, you need food? Oh, it sure sounds like a time for some convenient foodstuffs to be abandoned for some very convenient reason. All right. If you want out, you're staying out this time. I don't want to hear you scratching at my door, yelling. All right. Tyrant, I swear. Sacrifices have been made. We had to eat people. No. More than likely, some people had to be left behind, or some people chose to sacrifice themselves in order to save supplies for the younger generation, for the younger, healthier ones. Yes. You need food, so we're gonna ask Momodi for food. Hey Momodi, you run a restaurant business. I couldn't have picked a better day. What? How convenient. Really just is quite a coinkydink. Just have all these foodstuffs that just got left behind. And now we get to come face to face with casual racism. Oh, fun. checking Discord every once in a while to make sure I'm not missing anything important. I shouldn't be. It's in the middle of the fucking night. She's in the business of feeding refugees now. This guy getting sassy. He's like, I had to work hard for my food, so they should work too. I hate that mentality. You know, I think the thing is that like they're not even asking about the availability of the foodstuffs. Like, it was literally just there, not going to be, it was probably going to be thrown out regardless. So, like, and the stars aligned. So it was like, what else is she gonna? It was a why not? Why not give it away to people who really need it? Because these people are literally starving, and these people are like, but that sets a bad example. That sets up a precedent for them to think that they're always going to get free food and shit like that. And I'm just like, oh please, no. Any man what can't earn a crust deserves to go hungry. But nobody was saying that they can't. Not even asking about like what could be done for what they're going to be doing for compensation after the fact, you know? Like they're just being dicks to be dicks. You know, you shouldn't encourage them like this. Just encourage them like this. They'll start to expect it. You mark my words. Love that. Just love that mentality. Love it. Fantastic. It's like, you know, as a poor person myself, which, like, I will tell you that work has been sporadic for me. It's been very slow. I will go weeks without a single shift. And I honestly get tired of sitting around doing nothing. That's really, like, that's the reality of it, is that, like, I can't speak for everyone because I certainly have known people and have heard about people that just give up on life and would rather just waste away doing nothing. Like, and that's their prerogative, I guess. That's their choice that they make. But for me personally, I want to work, but I can't. Because my boss literally can't give me any more hours. Literally can't give me anything more than what she's been giving me. And it's just, like, not being able to do anything productive certainly does, like, it gets to me. It gets to me a lot, which is why I've been stressed out and anxious all the time for the past several months. Just because I'm sitting here feeling sack shit, but you know, but it's just like this idea that they're just like hand waving off this idea that people aren't going to work, like don't want to work, is ridiculous in my mind. I think it's just a mentality that they think that everyone should have to work as hard as everyone else works in order to earn basic necessities like food, shelter, water. Like, even if it's like, and it doesn't matter that it's literally beyond some people. Like these people are literally can't work in their present condition. But these people are sitting here expecting them to earn their keep before they can get anything. Oh. I wasn't expecting this to be in here. I guess I should have. Yay, Yugiri and friends get to talk before all the politic people. A small favor you fairly won with your words. I think that it's that phrase that I think a lot of people would, particularly in high positions in the holdout, would disagree with. I think that's the point of contention there. Of course, you're roping me into coming with, for God knows whatever reason. Your presence may serve to remind the Syndicate of the true meaning of philanthropy. Is that so? That's so. I have no idea why I would inspire such thoughts, but whatever you say, Alfino. Track all day. I literally had it on loop after the Endwalker teaser came out. And this was thrown up, I think, like 2-3 days after. So good. Love it so much. This in Huskies cover. I also had Huskies cover on loop for a good while. Oh man. I think it's just because the track just Forge Ahead is just so good. Love it so much. Oh my gosh, Soken, just give it to me, please. I know you're releasing it like literally like days before release or whatever. I don't even remember exactly. But that's not what I'm talking about. I want the lyrics. I want them now. I wonder if I had actually like worked on getting my squadron rank up so that I could actually rank up in the Grand Company.
To mark this auspicious occasion, I
Address
should
my
like to present to you the
higher
finest
rank.
treasures our humble nation has to offer. Alas, the circumstances which have brought me here today have divested me of both time and dignity. I come before you as a pauper in direst need of aid, to request that you grant my people asylum.
I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, welcome you to our city. Be at ease, Lady Yugiri. Although I myself have heard the tale of your misfortune, I would ask that you recount it once more for the benefit of the others here present.
As you wish, Your Grace. For many years, my nation, Domar, suffered under the yoke of imperial rule, and my people yearned to be free. Thus, when a war of succession broke out in Garlemald, we sought to take advantage of the chaos and reclaim our liberty. Alas, our enemy proved less preoccupied than we had hoped, and our rebellion was put down in the most brutal fashion.
Those who survived, how many do they number?
More than 200 souls huddle within the cramped confines of our own galleon's hold. Yet this figure accounts for but one of a number of ships which escaped the purge. It is my hope that you will allow us all to dwell within your walls. Should that prove unfeasible, however, I humbly ask that you accept as many of my people as your resources allow. Pray understand, we do not beg a boon, but propose instead an arrangement. We would serve as soldiers or tradesmen until our debt is repaid.
What are the Syndicate's opinions on this matter?
I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Lady Yugiri and her people strike me as an industrious lot, and there are parts of the city which have yet to be fully restored. If they are willing to work, I see no reason not to let them.
The head of the Mirage Trust is not known for his generosity. He sees profit in this.
You think?
I agree. That said, these are foreign refugees. To admit them would require a formal resolution. Shall we call a vote?
The law is the law.
Lord Lolorito?
Tell me, are you blind or willfully ignorant? Even now, our streets are choked with the displaced victims of the Calamity and Alamigan refugees. They live hand to mouth, subsisting on aid provided by the immortal flames, the cost of which grows ever higher. The wealth of Ul'dah is not without limits, my friends.
Yeah, but
And need I remind
really
you that
been
these
challenged.
refugees are prone to violence and criminal activity? You have all read the reports, I think.
Wonder why that is.
Without homes or employment, it is only a matter of time before men grow desperate and take that which they imagine has been unjustly denied them. Yet, knowing this, you would have us swell their ranks. Mayhap you think the brass blades and the flames are not hard-pressed enough?
Some say the chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company passes Gil thrice daily. This may explain how he came to be the wealthiest man in Ul'dah. Or it may simply be that he's ruthless beyond reckoning.
Surely the Sultanate can support the few hundred domins Lady Yugiri represents. That our resources have been taxed, I do not deny. But we are hardly in danger of financial collapse.
You tell him, Nanamo.
I move that an exception be made.
An exception, Your Grace? I am suddenly reminded of a similar debate some years ago regarding a number of Alamigan refugees, if memory serves. What were your words that day? Ah, yes. The law is the law. And so our visitors remained in Little Alamigo. Mayhap our wise and benevolent Sultana would be so good as to enlighten us as to which other of our laws should not be upheld.
Mind your tongue, Lolorito.
My lord, I share your concern for the welfare of our great nation, but we must endeavor to take a longer view. You know as well as I that people can be a resource still more precious than Gil.
Precious or not, they were never yet so reliable. And unlike those who frequent your establishment, I have no desire to gamble with my future. Uldar's greatest asset is, and has ever been, her material wealth. We risk this at our peril. One need only look to Teleji Adeleji's example for evidence of the danger in allowing sentiment to dictate policy. How far the vaunted Mirage have fallen, both in repute and profitability, since he began employing refugees.
Is that
How
so?
I choose to conduct my affairs is not your concern, my lord.
I really don't think that that's the reason why he's losing money.
A proposal has been tabled. Given its urgency, I move we forego further debate and call a vote. To accept the Doman refugees or not. Those in favor, I bid you remain. Those opposed, I bid you leave.
Done here twice. Why is that?
Would that it were within my power to welcome
Oh,
you and
because
your
it's
people,
part
Lady
of-
Yugiri. As you have observed, however, my authority in such matters is regrettably limited. Without the consent of the Syndicate, I cannot act.
I understand, Your Grace, and I appreciate all that you have done on our behalf.
The nerve of the man! If that bastard had not forsaken the eastern trade route, little Alamigo would now be thriving. Oh, that you should have traveled so far under such dire circumstances, only to be refused in this manner is utterly unconscionable. Pray, accept my sincerest apologies.
Oh yes, totally.
Now that the Empire no longer poses an
Hear the
immediate
concern,
threat,
deep concern in your
no
voice.
reason to maintain the pretense of unity. The monitorists have grown especially defiant of late. Lord Lolorito most of all.
I smell the planting of a red herring.
But this is neither the time nor place for that discussion.
Boop. Well, that was eventful. Lolorito is an asshole. Now, it's like, while that exchange was happening, I actually, like, was thinking more critically about it. It's just like, yes, I can see that, like, since I'm older, I do see the value in, like, I certainly understand, like, where they're kind of, like, their perspective on it. It's that they want, it's just, like, kind of the ever-present mentality or goal is always like forward motion, you know, like it's always about moving forward and never backward. Well, I don't believe that we can ever move backward. We can just move in a different direction. Not everybody thinks that, of course, but it's like I can see that they want. They don't. It's like, in order to keep things moving forward, in a positive direction, they want they want the conversation about cost versus reward to at least be present in situations like this. So it's like, I'm certainly not of the opinion that, or at least not anymore, that these people should be given everything for nothing. Like, they're given all they need for nothing. But as I was saying earlier, it's just like, it's not like these people don't want to work, and they're certainly exhibiting all of the earnestness of wanting to work, but I guess the trade-off with these particular like the difference in this particular situation, I think, or at least the idea that the writers are trying to get across is that, you know, like they are trying to treat it like a closed loop at the top where the money that comes in from any particular arrangement that they buy into stays at the top and just continues growing and growing and growing and never trickles down. Like, no matter what anyone says, no matter what anyone does, it's just like it just circulates and circulates and circulates just among those elites, and it's just trading hands and somehow getting larger without ever letting any of it fall to the lower classes. So it's like, and then of course, like, this is setting up to the finale of A Realm Reborn. Also, but it's like, and I think that's one of the things that once we get there, I'll talk about it more. It's like, this is kind of one of the things that I felt was I felt kind of just like weird about with how the 2.x series ended, and then how it was wrapped up in early Heaven's Word. So. Yeah, like, I definitely can understand, like, this thought of, it's like, well, while we understand that these people need, like, it's not like they, well, I guess you could argue that some of them don't particularly care about whether or not these few hundred people survive or not. I don't think that that's really the primary motivation. It's just they don't particularly think it's their problem to solve, I think, is what the real mentality is. There goes Alfino trying to thinkle his way out of his guilt. What's this? He's come up with a new recipe. Interestingly, I think Urianger is Ignis more than Alfino is, and coincidentally, they have the same voice actor as at least A Realm Reborn Urianger does. I have a proposal. It's like, well, these politic people can't help you, but maybe this independent band of, I guess, superheroes. I mean, I'm the superhero primarily, but come to Revenant's Toll. There all of your problems will be solved. Hard work and a little elbow grease. Perseverance, you'll be alright. I feel like I think that's the number one thing why I like playing games in general is because like it's very clean cut about it's an environment that clearly states its objectives, clearly defines its guidance for you to meet those objectives, and the reward is fair, or at least it's fair within its own, or at least it should be fair. A good game has fair reward for fair effort, but it's becoming increasingly increasingly uncommon in the real world. And it's just like I bring that up because I'm thinking about like this arrangement that is setting up these guys up with. It's like if there was a place near me that was like Revenant's Toll, where it's like it's building up, you know, people are able to just walk in, start working, and can earn food, sleep, food, shelter, all the amenities. And you get to watch it grow, and it's just little by little, but the jobs are clearly laid out, and you can see exactly what needs to be done when. Like, I feel like that's an environment that I would really do well in. Like, but unfortunately, that's just not a kind of environment that exists where I am. Yeah, it's like, I don't even really care about like how comfortable it would be. I just want to be able to like earn my right to live, essentially. Off we go to make the arrangements. It's back at the quicksand, right? Yeah. I'm definitely gonna need to go. I actually just the primary reason why I'm like not eating is because I keep telling myself that I need to go grocery shopping for myself. I keep waking up so late that I never do it. I don't know, because I just feel weird going out grocery shopping by myself for myself. I know that he's not gonna care and it's not gonna meet, and it just feels weird to me. Feels like I'm leaving him out. It's like I think it's just like I was saying earlier, it's just like this animosity towards like having these people just come in like and get help. It's just like, and When people say it was like, oh, why are you doing that? Why are you helping these people? It's just like it's not taking anything away from you. Like just because you're envious of the fact that you or just because you're mad that you have to work so hard to get something you perceive to be equal to what they're getting, equal to or maybe even less than what they're getting. Like, that's not fair. Because one, it's not permanent. And two, these people are literally dying, and none of the rest of these people are. Except for the refugees. You know, she said that it was like 200 in the whole of the galleon, but then she said that that was just one of a fleet of ships that left. So I'm sensing that there's like at least maybe like three to 400 of them actually, even though they just keep saying two. Government fails to act, it falls to private citizens. Oh, if only it were that. If only it were that simple. After all that has befallen these people, it is the least I can do. Yeah, because you're totally not seeing turn around in that arrangement. What, me escort people? You know how much I hate escort quests, Alfino. Alfino! Don't make me! Pardon. Back to Vesper Bay. Still think the Zervin burb is my favorite. And one day I'll get all the dragon quivers. One day. I don't even think that I really care about the dragon quivers. Like, they're kind of cool and all, but I really want the dogs. I really want the Stormblood dogs. gotta round up, what? Lost my words there for a second. I gotta round up the children. Okay. Brain was not working there for a second. Hide and seek. Sorry, did you say something about me being queer? Oh yeah. Don't you think they're queer? Giant birds that people ride like horses? Yeah. I always thought that was weird. Like, I remember talking to my friend about like when Stormblood was about to release. They're like, it's like they don't have chocobos over there. So what kind of mounts do you think they have? And I was just like, I guess I had completely forgotten about this part. I was like, maybe they'll just like have chocobos anyway for some reason. Maybe they'll explain it away somehow, but no. Glad they didn't. Glad they gave us something new. It's always interesting to see how they change how they represent different cultures. Really adds a lot of depth. Yeah. None of this is interesting. This is just kids being kids. Like, oh, I'm so fascinated by all this new stuff that I've never seen before. Don't get me wrong, I like it too. I like being surrounded by a bunch of stuff that I've never witnessed before. It's the reason why I really want to travel someday. One day. And this is just him talking about, it's like, oh, this place is so strange. This is just culture shock. Local man experiences culture shock on the beach. Yeah. Asked me to go ahead and clear the road. Oh, yeah, I think they cut out. They cut out the part with collecting the scales from the suit. Armor and the masking the chocobos like scent, like smell, because yes, chocobos would smell very particular way, and it's, I mean, I would assume they smell kind of like horses, but they probably smell a little bit stronger because their feathers would trap more like dirt and grime in them, so I've never smelled chicken before, so I don't know if that. With it. I have smelled a horse before, though. Boop. This is the patch where they started, like, actually giving us, like, almost a personality, which I think is really cute. I remember seeing, like, dialogue options pop up in this patch for the first time, and I was just like, gasp. Of course, it doesn't actually, like, have any bearing on the story. I just like seeing the different hearing about the different responses that you can make. It's nice. I love how the guy is wearing the handkerchief that you were like. They still have him wearing the handkerchief as if you gave him the thing to cover the smell of the chocobo, but don't actually have to do it now. Oh, if only we had you back in our country, we might have not getting caught and driven out. That was a pretty bold thing for you to assume there, sir. I'm only a level 50 paladin. There's, of course, the whole Xenos thing. Not anywhere close to being strong enough to fight Xenos yet. And here there's going on about how great Yugiri is. Children. How do you become an adventurer? Oh, why did I become an adventurer? Get stronger. What's Revenant's toll like? Bustling outpost frequented by countless merchants, bastion of civilization in a harsh and unforgiving wilderness. It is the home of the science of Seventh Dawn. It is a stone's throw from Imperial Castrum? Question mark. I like this one. I always see places like Revenant's Toll and I'm like, this is cool. There's a bunch of hardworking people here doing their thing, trying to improve their conditions in life. I applaud them. This is the best way to become more powerful. Seek out new experiences and adventures, basically gain XP, fight ferocious beasts, basically do raiding, train every day, buy weapons and armor from Rowena. That one. I think I answered a little bit differently way back when I did this for the first time, but maybe, maybe not. I don't recall. So you get to ask 2 questions. Just one more. Do you think that I'll make it? You think I'll be an adventurer like you? I guess if you, the first step is wanting it, right? Protect our friends and punish the wicked. Well. Oh man. Everything was so black and white back during these times, wasn't it? There was no sympathetic villains, no tragic backstory. Not yet. Nero gets a redemption arc, but that's a bit different. Wondering, will New Game Plus force me to do... I think it will. I think New Game Plus will force me to do the Crystal Tower before moving past a certain point. We shall see. Why did I sprint? I have mount. Give me that aetherite. Give me that Aethernet shard. You seem feisty. Give me that instant travel. Speaking of instant travel, I'm so excited for the monk changes in Endwalker, just from what we saw in the job trailer. Job action trailer. So happy. It looks so fun. And onward to Evidence Toll. Yep. And then of course they're gonna ask me to go ahead and speak with Slothborn and let everyone know that they're on their way. Back to Evidence Toll we go. Let me guide you, my sheep. Oh, your reputation precedes you. Yes, yes. Welcome, welcome. Now get to work. What? You haven't met the antecedent yet? I was getting to that. Getting to that. Hello, everybody. We have new people coming in. a rather interestingly garbed woman with some weird protrusions out of her head. I don't know what that's about. It's probably fine. Still can't reach the students of Baldessian. Can't wait for the shoe to drop when they find out that the Isle of Val is gone. I was thinking about that too earlier when that plot point got brought up. I was just like, I don't think that they had planned on like using that for Eureka yet, because of course they were like Eureka was. No, Dynam was something different, but still, like they hadn't even like thought about doing Eureka yet. I don't think, like even as a concept, like as a system. So I find it like kind of interesting, like what were they just, was this just another one of those plot points where they just kind of like set it up and to be used for something later without any real like plan on what that something later was going to be, or if they actually like had kind of like some vague idea of what they were, where they were going to take it. My instinct is more on the former, where they just, because that's just how you get things rolling in projects like massive projects like this. It's just like you have plot ideas that happen and then don't really develop until later because like they have to be picked back up and molded, kind of like soft retconned into something else. I think that's probably one of the cool things about having being one of the first people from the beginning of a game all the way to the present. It's just like you see that evolution, and you really get a sense, like, or it's like the longer you stay with the online game like this, is the more you get to see how malleable it is. Like they stick to their lore book for consistency's sake, but there is wiggle room there. And I think they handle that really well. My personal opinion. That's just me. She's sitting here, a little bundle of anxiety about whether people are going to be mad at us for taking on refugees when there's all this primal stuff going on. Oh yeah, so couldn't ignore these refugees specifically. All the other refugees, so we couldn't do anything about. You know, it's like there's nothing we could do about the people of Little Alamigo. There's nothing we could do about the other Alamegans in and outside of Ulda and elsewhere. These ones we can help. Yeah, see that. See how that works. I think the thing that kind of like I always felt weird about, or I especially feel weird about now, is the fact that they still lean into this notion of we are the good guys. We are the ones that really want to help these people and help all people across the world. Because that's what we do. But it's hiding, but it's intentionally like covering that underlying layer that we find out later. That the real reason why they selectively chose these people to help is because of their close connection to the heart of the Garlean Empire problem. Like, they were on the inside for a long time, so they know what's going on with it, and they even have a network of, they even have a group of trained people to obtain information that we otherwise wouldn't have access to, right? Like, they have an entire spy, like they have trained spies for this shit. And like it's that information, it's that connection, and that kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? It's that, you know, usefulness to finding out what's going on with Garlemald. That's the real reason why they're suddenly being so generous to these people specifically. I'm just like, fair, but still feel kind of weird about it. Not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna have to stop here in a minute and actually get something to eat, because I'm starting to feel a little dizzy from hunger. I know that's concerning. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Plenty of food in the kitchen. I just generally don't want to eat a lot of it because it requires preparation, which means dishes, which I don't want to deal with. Oh yeah, there's still those missing crystals we haven't found yet, right? I think I'm just gonna finish up this quest, and then I'll still continue after. I just need food. Oh wow.
How goes the fishing? Caught anything slippery?
Already.
Aye. Our suspicions were well founded. The Serpent Reavers are indeed the culprits.
The plot thickens.
Has there been any movement in Thanalan?
It has been blessedly quiet, which is to say the Amalja are being no more or less of a nuisance than usual, summoning Ifrit with such crystals as they have hoarded. Urianger, too, reports not out of the ordinary.
Then we have our explanation.
Your explanation for what, pray tell?
The crystals,
For the
of
recent
course.
spate of crystal thefts in Thanalan, we naturally assumed that the trail would lead us back to the Amalja. Yet it did not. It led us across the sea unto Vilbrand.
Vilbrand? There have been reports of increased Sahagin activity of late. Oh gods. They mean to summon Leviathan?
Well, it is in the script.
That is
Go
the
through
way.
all of the
here.
elemental primals.
Whilst conducting our investigation on behalf of the mineral concern, we came upon evidence implicating the Serpent Reavers. With the aid of the Maelstrom, I was able to verify our suspicions. 'Tis only a matter of time before Leviathan returns to harrow the seas. But there is more. One of the Sahagin, an elder by my judgment, spoke of attaining the gift and knowledge of eternity.
Uh-oh. Echo seizure. Ouch. Ooh, my head cannon.
Such a disturbance in the ether. If I did not know better, I should think this device defective.
But you do know better.
And there is the explanation.
This will be an interesting scene to rewatch as well. 'Cause there's still so much about like the nature of the echo that we don't really have clear answers for.
The Lord shall rise midst surging waves to wash away the finless one. And I shall be granted the gift and knowledge of eternity, and with the emissary stand equal. Then shall I know no cessation, no oblivion.
I think
Whence
something
comes this
that's
promise of immortality? The emissary?
I think there's something interesting about that I think a lot of people don't really like to conceptualize in their minds is that all of the beast tribes, like all of these tribes of anthropomorphized people, were, or at least it's suggesting that they were all part of our soul, part of the ancient souls as well. That when the worlds were sundered, that it split all the souls off into not just the different like humanoid races, but also the beast tribes. I could be missing some information on that. I seem to recall like Ethis covering something a while back about that. I'll have to go back over it at some point. But that's just kind of like been an idea floating around in my head. So it's like if you have conflict, so if you have more substantiated, a more substantiated point on that, then I would certainly love to hear it, because my knowledge base of the vast lore of this world is getting better over time, but it's still a little spotty in places, but primarily because my memory tends to be garbage. But I do find it fun to kind of like rethink things in different contexts.
We have outstayed our welcome.
But I think it stands to reason, because like the dwarves and the first are considered a beast tribe, but one of them was a warrior of light traveling with Artbird. So
Are the two of you quite well?
You shared that vision, did you not? Even before the Sahagin made mention of the emissary, I recognized Elidibus's words. He is behind this. But surely it is not within his power to grant the echo.
Oh no, absolutely not. That's because everybody already has it.
My lady, unless we act swiftly,
Or at least most.
will rise again.
A
The
good
Admiral
portion.
has already requested that we intervene to prevent this. Failing that, we are to attend to the Primal's extermination.
Yeah, because I think we've kind of pseudo-officially established that the Echo is kind of like
She
a
will have
marker
our
of
full
all the
cooperation.
original,
Let us make haste
like
to
all the
Limsey
fragments of the original souls of the ancients. And anyone who doesn't have the Echo is kind of the new life that sprung up either before, it was kind of the new life that sprung up afterwards.
I mean to play a part in this mission. Tataru, pray, take charge in my absence.
At least that's the
My
current
lady,
theory.
are you sure this is wise?
I am aware of the risks, but there is something I must see with mine own eyes. The true nature of the Echo.
Very well. I shall not stand in your way.
Yeah, that sure would be nice,
On the
wouldn't it?
condition that you permit me to accompany you as bodyguard.
Sure would be nice if we actually saw the true nature of the Echo in the next scene, but
Your company is ever welcome, Thancred.
I don't think We actually do.
I take it something ill is afoot.
Aye, a primal is about to be loosed upon Eorzea.
Primal?
A
Yeah.
godlike being whose very existence is a bane upon the land. We scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to put an end to their kind.
Yeah, you call them Kami over in Domo.
I see. Know then that I am learned in the arts of war. In return for the kindness you have shown my people, I would lend you my blade.
I do
It would
really
be most
appreciate
welcome.
how they kind of like
When
weave
contending
in
with a
their
primal, one can never have
reveals
truly
into
able
the
allies.
narrative.
If you crave a more
Even if it doesn't
intimate
make much sense,
understanding of the
like,
problems facing Eorzea, this
going back
experience is
through
like
it.
to provide it. Be
Like,
sure
say
to
for
come
instance,
well
if I had
prepared.
if I was playing a female Aura, it wouldn't make much sense for her to be covered. But it's all about, you know, the stuff that you get to experience in the moment. And I think that's kind of like cool about what content generation does. Like, that's kind of like what it's for. All right, I'm gonna stop there and I'm gonna go find myself some food because my husband's literally about to get up for work. And but everything looks good. Everything seems to be running smooth. Everything looks good. Audio's good. Everything's set up. So I will have a kind of a new setup. I will continue playing around with this. Probably tweak bit rate and stuff over the next few more tests. Stuff to see, just to see how far I can push the quality. Because I really like getting it to as high fidelity as possible without sacrificing any sort of quality issues kind of stuff. So, if you watch this afterwards, thanks for checking it out. Really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed my commentary at least. This is kind of like who I am. For those that are kind of like checking me out for the first time, I do tend to talk about heavier stuff. So if that's not your deal, I say I want to. I say I apologize more out of habit than anything else. But it's just like, if it's not your thing, it's fine. There's plenty of other content out there that's like, I thoroughly enjoyed Drac Gamestein, Larazor, and Mr. Happy, and all that. All those wonderful people. Just a bunch of Final Fantasy XIV content creators that don't delve into that kind of stuff. But this is me. This is what I do. I talk about stuff. I talk about all the stuff that comes to my mind while I'm running through Final Fantasy XIV. So, but if you liked it, feel free to stick around, and I'll catch you next time. Good morning to those of you that it's morning time, and I'm gonna go now and find some food.